income. Okay. Need more money. Big surprise, right? I cried at first and then calmed down and realized it's all okay. I cried too. That when I first saw that number, in fact, for a long time I could look and see, my monthly income. I do pretty well in the ratio of the golden mean. Where I need to really build up is over on my asset side because I really have not acquired any large assets like a home to or property to sell. I've lived kind of this fluid life. Like the last 3 years I've been with my daughter helping her out, and then before that I worked with Asara. So I have 6 years that I haven't really built up personal assets, and I really didn't do much of that before because I was in survival mode. So my next mission is, now that I felt pretty comfortable in what I need to create in the ratio of the golden mean on the bill side, now I need to say, well, if I want to increase my assets, how much do I need to increase my ratio of the golden mean? Right now, I am at the 3 to 1. So that means I need to raise my ratio up to 5 to 2 on my income so that I can start putting more towards the accumulation of some assets that are going to give me some longer term income and stability, and that I can liquidate in the future to take care of me when I'm older. Or I could go ahead and transfigure and I would be fine. But right now I'm still in the flow and I really don't have enough in the savings and asset side. And that's just me being transparent. That's where I am. And right now, in my business, I've been coming basically from ground zero, rebuilding my business and then losing mom. I really haven't had the energy or the inclination, frankly, to be able to do the level of work that I normally do in generating my income. So I'm really, in many ways, at a starting over place. Okay, so I missed the bit about the command overload, so can you repeat it, please? Yes, Sandy and I are going to do a special recording for you called the Call to Convergence, where in your manual you'll see where there's all these commands, and we're going to go through and set it to music and let you just relax and let these commands just come in for you. Okay? And that's something that you can do for yourself, that if you wanted to record your own voice and do a command and do what we call stacking commands. So Sandy and I are going to do a convergence recording for you. But frankly, it'll probably be in the morning because I'm noticing that my voice is a little tired. And then when we have the best energy, then we'll do this recording and get it up on the member side. Okay? So that's what that is. All right. And so we're working on all of that. All right, good. So in this direct link with your greater intelligence, you can actually ask for a download, there we go, for direct knowledge on anything that you need, which is such a wonderful quality of working with theta. So this ability to feel safe or creative, the ability to trust yourself, the ability to have confidence. Maybe you see that there's somebody that has a quality that you really like and you wish you could be that way. Well, instead of making yourself wrong that you don't have a particular quality or skill, you can download directly from Source Mind what it looks like, sounds like, feels like, what that internal experience is of being a person who has utter and complete confidence in themselves and their ability to make their dreams come true. Oh, did you want that one? Okay, does that one sound good? I'll do that one for you, okay? So we can do that, but any quality that you're needing, maybe you don't think that you're patient enough, maybe you don't think you're analytical enough or practical enough, maybe you think you're too old or too young. The age you are right now is the perfect age to be, because the only other thing you could be is dead. So where you are is awesome. You're still breathing in and out. You still have plenty of time to make your dreams come true. Okay? All right. Ask for a download of what? You can ask for a download from your greater intelligence. I'm going to call in, I think. A download from your greater intelligence for any skill or quality that you need in order to feel successful. If you feel like you need to be able to be more creative, you can actually ask for a download on how to be more creative. If you feel like you need to be more patient or a more someone who has better boundaries, you can make commands for those boundaries. Okay? So I'm going to dial in so that you guys can hear me better. Okay?
And thank you. So I'm here now. So Renata is saying, hey, I'm very creative and I need to work on the action steps. So you could actually make a command that I don't know how. I have a super ability to take the right actions in the right order. I only know I do now, and I am fulfilled. Okay? So we call, when we're getting that information and that direct link from source coming in to where you get that information you need, we call that a download. Okay? My first experience with a download was actually at Asara School when I had just gotten through taking the hypnotherapy training. And I was wondering what was my next steps to do because I had a lot of natural gifts as an energy healer and a spiritual healer. And then working in the hypnotherapy was so satisfying for me, and I didn't know did I want to continue on with school, did I want to, not just with Asara, but did I want to go look at some other training? What were my next steps? And I remember I was in her school, which used to be run out of her house, and I was on the sofa, and it was a beautiful spring day, and I was looking out, and I was just kind of in this reverie. And then all of a sudden, as I'm just in this kind of visualizing, thinking about what I'd like to create, suddenly it was like all the great healers appeared before me. There were teachers, there were healers, there were nurses and doctors and witch doctors and gurus, and they were just all there, and I could see them all in my mind's eye. And it was, if you are willing to work with us, if you are willing to do this work, any information you need at the time that you need it, we will give it to you. And then I felt this energy coming into my body. And over the years, I have been just astounded by the type of information that comes in when I'm working with someone, particularly in the hands-on healing realm, which I actually don't work with energy healing that often, but when I have the opportunity to do it, it's amazing. Like things would happen, like one time I was at someone's house and they'd asked me to come to a reading and a session, and the man had just gotten through having a stroke. And he could not lift his own arm. He was taking one hand and moving the other one around. And he had just come home from the hospital. Now, this man at age 89 who had just come home from the hospital with a stroke, what he wanted was a psychic reading on his love life. Okay, so you never stop wanting to know when are you going to meet your soulmate. But we were doing the healing work. I mean, we were doing that. But just before I left, I said, I just want to make these sounds. I feel like if I made these tones into your arm, that would help you. Is that all right? And I just had this prompting. And he said, okay. And I really didn't argue with it. And it was the first time I ever did toning. And I had never heard of it. I'd never been shown it. And it just occurred to me that I need to, make these particular, ooh sounds. And I knew when I had this overtone come in, and I made 3 different sounds, and I just directed the sound ooh, into his arms. And then he went, hey, what was that? That's pretty good. And so many things have happened like that time and time again, where suddenly I could just see it or know it or feel it, and there would be some energy healing or some technique or some other information would come in. Now, what's in me that is not in most people is not really about some supernatural gift or empathic ability, which I am very intuitive. I am empathic. There's a way I talk to myself, but I really think that what sets me apart is that I don't argue with that idea when it comes in. I allow myself to take action on it. And that is the big secret to following your intuition. And I have earned lots of money as a professional intuitive. And, and if you've had the chance to work with me in a session, you know that suddenly I'm like in there and there's just some information coming in that could only be known one way. Well, that's because I'm not afraid to speak up, and I'm not afraid to be wrong or have a wrong guess because it's all information. That's really the only thing I could attribute it to. And it's not because that day, I had this visual, because we all have these amazing visuals, but we don't necessarily take action. I accepted it as something that could be true for me, to know that there is unlimited information available to me, and if I'm willing to work with it, the answer will be there. That's the big mystery, okay? So we're going to take you through some commands right now, and then we're going to take you to this piece about the power of a new beginning and how we can turn around these negative feelings. And we really want to build up, because there's some things that you're going to be dealing with, once you leave the seminar, and I want you to be prepared for them and know what to do, okay? So go ahead and close your eyes and ground. Bring up that beautiful earth energy. Bringing your attention to your heart and that love in your heart. As you're coming into alignment with that love in your heart, just allow that love to become illuminated. Let that expand 360 degrees around. Yes, yes, yes. Roll your eyes up. Picture, visualize, or imagine that you are traveling up a golden pole of light. The higher you go, the faster you go, and soon you find yourself surrounded by that beautiful black void of space. Reach out in that blackness and pull it away like a heavy black velvet curtain, coming into that white luminescence of pure potential. I don't know how. I confidently have all of the skills, attributes, and abilities I need in order to make my dreams come true. I only know I have everything I need now and more, and I don't know how. I am open and ready to work with the greater intelligence in all the ways it wants to help me and serve me. I only know I am open to receiving information as I need it, when I need it now. And I am fulfilled. And I don't know how I came to be so confident to act on my instincts and my intuition. I only know I am free to follow my best instincts now as they lead me to my greater good, and I am fulfilled. Just let that go. And I don't know how I came to feel so accepted, accepting, trusting, and trustworthy. I only know I am prepared for my good to arrive in any direction now. And I am flexible and I am at ease. I don't know how my inner creative, my inner realist, and my inner critic are all making friends now and working creatively. I only know that every part of who I am is working cooperatively now for my greater good, and I am fulfilled. Just let that go. Boy, that one got a big reaction. Just let that one go. Let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. Yeah, just let that come back in. And just picture, visualize, or imagine that you're getting this direct download from Source Mind about all those states of being. Watch every part of who you are, who you've been, and who you're destined to become receive everything they need, everything you need, just when you need it. Breathe into that. When that feels complete, let me know. Great. When you're ready, open your eyes. So someone's trying to get a 4-4, and we had people sign up on this online. Went to look. Doesn't feel working now. Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good. All right. So, sorry, I was reading a message as you were coming back in. All right. Thank you. All right. Hey, Sandy, so people are, I've seen that it was open, so maybe there's something wrong with the server. We'll take a look at that later, okay? All right. So I want to come back to the sense of time. And this is really an important piece because someone say, I'm ready for it. It must be God's time. It must not be the right time. And there could be a delay. And there seems sometimes to be this idea that time is against us. And in truth, time is very plastic. And I want to invite you to accept the idea that you're in time and on time. And that there are some things that have to take time to prepare. There are some things that have to unwind and release. But allow yourself to come into a right timing. Now, there's something that has actually happened, and it could be because of the planetary change, but I went through this little period where I was suddenly working with a lot of people on their sense of timing, that they feel like they're up against a wall or they're just missing it. They're that day late and dollar short. And sometimes that could actually have to do, and suddenly I can't stop using the word time, that actually has to do with some circumstances around your birth. And that maybe there was a delay in your birth, maybe you came early, maybe there was something that was going on at the hospital. It could go back that far. But also there could be some things there could be some shock, some trauma that's thrown you off your timing. There's some big energy shifts, and we have to adjust our inner timing. Sometimes you're trying to force yourself into someone else's time and schedule. And this was a big thing that I took back this year. And in fact, I'm working on some things to still adjust it because I had this period where I'm doing business with Asara, and she's 2 hours behind me. And I'm well into my day, and Asara's here. It's 9 o'clock, and Asara's ready to just get started. And her timing on how she likes to get things done are different than my timing. Then I had my daughter's timing in that schedule, and I literally did feel crunched, like my time was not my own, that I was trying to work my life in between everyone else's schedule. So this was a huge piece for me to say, you know what, this is my time, and I have the right to determine how I use it. It is my time, and I have the right to say that I don't want it wasted. And it is mine to waste. So if I want to step off and relax, then I'm going to do things in my timing. And I have noticed that if I'm trying to work someone else's timing, I forget things, and there's glitches and that type of stuff. But if I allow myself to be in my own natural rhythm, then there's a flow. Well, this other thing that I mentioned, that maybe there's a shock or a trauma or there's a shift in the frequency. And I actually kind of put people back in this, I was taking people through this visualization of like an automobile having a timing chain. And the timing chain allows everything, all the motor pieces to work, get into their particular rhythm and harmony. And, like I'm not going to explain about the inner workings of a combustion engine, internal combustion engine, and how that sits on the wheels and how the wheels and the brakes and all that works together. But there is a particular timing sequence, and that sequence has to do with the firing of the release of the fuel so that the fuel can meet the spark, and then all the pistons start working in order. Well, we have that same type of thing. We have like an internal timing belt. And the way that they check the timing belt, oh, and every car, by the way, has its own timing. And they have a tool that's a light. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's this pulse of light that they use to measure it. And once the pulse, there's a way that the pulse and the belt match as they're running together, let the mechanic know that everything's firing correctly, that the car is in right timing. And so I was actually taking people through this command process of getting back into their right timing, allow their timing to adjust, okay? And so there could actually be a period that once you start doing a lot of this work, that your money may actually ebb away from you and it kind of disappears, and then it will flow back to you. And this is a part of the natural cycle. And part of the reason this is happening is, well, Sarah tells a story about someone who was actually earning a very nice living at about $30,000 a month, and she made the decision. She wanted to work with the One Command because she wanted to promote it to her very large list, but she wanted to make sure it worked. And at first, she was making some commands, and everything was working. Then she made the decision to start working on her relationships. When she started working on her relationship, the money dried up. And she said, Asara, what happened? My money was less than half. Is the One Command not working? I said, no. Right now you've shifted your energy and attention, and right now your relationship timing and your business timing are off kilter. We've got to get those two working together. And so you just have to trust that there is a flow. And just like with the seasons, there's times when there's a lot of activity of expressing, there's time of receiving, there's a time of preparation, there's a time of resting. And there is a definite season to our money. And the thing is, if you can prepare, just like we do with the seasons, we can work with the seasonal changes of the energy, and we're never going to be in lack. Okay? How many times have we been fighting time? Well, time wants to be on our side, and I really think, just like money, that time has an intelligence. So just right now, just roll your eyes up. I know you're dying to. So right now, just roll your eyes up and say, I don't know how I came to be in time, on time, every time. Yeah, you like that? I don't know how I came to be in time, on time, every time. I only know my financial good flows to me in the right time now, and I am fulfilled. Whew, just let that one go, and just let that pulsating light start coming in, adjusting. Ooh, isn't that sweet? That's nice. So you can play with time. There's actually been times that I needed to get someplace, and it didn't look like I should be able to get there on time, and I was able to stretch out the time. Like a 45-minute trip take 20 minutes. And it's not because I was a speed racer. I was actually going through traffic. Ruby Lee can attest to this. One time we were in Houston, and we had to get up to Conroe, which is a very highly, it's always a very busy road, but then when it's rush hour traffic, it is a nightmare, and we had to get through that. It's notorious on how bad this road is. And we made commands about time, and we actually got early to our event, even though it started out we were running late, because we made commands to stretch out our time. The other thing that's going to happen is, as you're doing all this process work, some of your deeper, older programs are going to be coming up, okay? And the analogy that we use for that is, if you've ever seen, one of these steamboats. Now, in the U.S., this is, in the South, but, you've seen these in movies. But, as it's pedaling along, there's not a lot of energy. It's going with the flow of the energy. It's in the flow of the motion. Everything's fine. But when it runs to its destination and it's time to turn that paddle boat around, oh, my goodness, what a mess it makes. It starts turning everything up. And there's a certain amount of energy, because you are not just moving yourself quantumly, but we've got some heavy matter, and we've got some things that we have set up energetically that also have to move. And part of that time delay is that pause that's allowing that flow, that direction to change, okay? So allowing yourself to be a little bit in that discomfort and just acknowledging you're in discomfort makes a big difference. But also, some hidden, unresolved things are going to be coming up. You're going to be having a lot of realization about, wow, where did that block come from? Now I see what happened there. And that's going to throw you into process a little bit. So this is why, especially after going through this program, you want to be gentle with yourself. You want to eat good food, drink a lot of water. You know, just be kind to yourself, because your whole neurology and everything inside of you is completely reorganizing right now. One thing, you know, when I'm in the workshop, I will draw a picture. I couldn't do it for this, where there's all this kind of old garbage kind of comes up, and you go, really, is it mine to deal with? No, I'm just going to let it flow on by. But one image that was in there was like this mean lunchroom lady, you know, was there, and I tell the story, and I'm going to share it with you, that you know, sometimes the things that stop us are, you know, not necessarily a big fear. There was some incident or something, and then our history starts to support it. And I've had this problem my whole life. Well, you know, up until recently, but it actually happened this morning, and that's why I want to say it. Here we're having fun, and I realized my pants are unzipped. And I mean, okay, whoops, we're doing that. But there would be a period that as soon as I would, like, be stepping up and stepping out and letting people see me, something would happen to my clothing. Like one time I was giving a presentation, and it was in the 80s when we were wearing those wrap dresses, and somehow I did this effusive motion, and I unhooked my wrap belt, and my whole dress opened up in front of me, exposing everything underneath. And then another time I was on a new job, and I was walking the property with the boss, and I was really proud because I really had wanted this job. I went and got it, and I dressed to the nines for this meeting, and I was going to show him I was the woman for the job, and really wanted to impress him. We're out walking on property. I step off of a curb. The wind catches my skirt and blows it straight up off the top, up above my head. And I mean, I just had all this happen, this kind of stuff happen all the time. So I didn't realize that I kind of had this nervousness about getting up and out in front of people, and I couldn't really quite figure out where it came from or what I need to do about it. I just would power through and prepare myself, but I kind of lived with this little tension. Well, when we started doing a lot of the one commands, what came up suddenly was this memory of being a little girl. And when I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money. And in fact, I got a lot of our clothes from cousins, and things kind of got passed around the neighborhood. And then plus, I was a tall girl, and so like my pants were usually too short, and we just didn't have anything really that new. But if we did have something nice, it was usually reserved for church. And then our school clothes were school clothes, and our play clothes were play clothes. But what I really envied was the little girls who had the fluffy little white dresses, you know, the little dresses with the little ruffle skirt. Anybody my age know what I'm talking about? And the little puffy sleeves. Oh, my gosh, you know, I wanted to dress like a girly girl. Now, I'm a big kid, okay, so I could look kind of like the old Baby Huey cartoon or something, but I just felt little teeny and petite inside, but I'm having to wear kind of boyish clothes because I'm so big. And we got this box of hand-me-downs from our cousins, and there were kind of some cousins that were doing better. And my mom was going through the box, and she pulled out this blue dress with a Swiss dot, and it's kind of a sheer fabric, guys, if you don't know that, and it's got the little white dots on it. And it had the petticoat underneath it. It had the little puffy sleeves. It had the blue bow that matched the dress for my hair. It had a pair of socks with a little matching blue bow that were not all worn out. And it fit me. And my mom said I could wear this dress to school. Oh, my gosh, I was so excited. I didn't sleep. I had the dress all laid out. And as I was walking to school, oh, wait. And when I got dressed, my mama said I could wear my nice church shoes, the shiny ones. So I got the black shoes, white socks, little blue dress, little bow, little white collar, little puffy sleeves, a little, big bow in the back. Oh, my gosh, I was all done. And when I walked, it went shh, shh, shh. Oh, and I could twirl. I could twirl in this dress, and it went whoosh. It floated out. It was great. I just was so happy. And all day long, as I'm walking around school, my teachers were saying, "Why, Kathy, you sure look nice today." And I'd say, "Thank you. My mama said I could wear my dress to school today." And I would sit in the desk, and I was arranging my little dress, and all the girls were talking about my dress. And Jerry Wilson said I look nice too. And I'm like in third grade, so this is huge that Jerry Wilson noticed me, okay? And so he actually walked beside me from one class to the other. Oh, man. And then it was time for lunch. And as I'm going through the lunch line, I'm kind of starting to notice I'm a little uncomfortable. Now, I have this beautiful, nice dress on, but here's the other thing. Being a big kid and being poor, you wear hand-me-down underwear. And a lot of the underwear that I got to wear were too big, and they had pins in them. We just, we had our nice panties, and we had our other panties. And the only underwear I had that day were these big floppy panties with a big pin that I had to wear, and something had happened to the pin, and the underwear were starting to go south. And they were starting to go south kind of quickly, because by the time I'm through the lunch line, my underwear have gone from my waist, shifted from my waist, to where I'm clutching them with my knees, holding my lunch tray, trying to get across the room. And I'm paralyzed. And my underwear are only going south. Suddenly, these panties are made of lead, and there's nothing left to do. I'm trying to swoosh my legs, and I'm frozen, and the mean lunch lady says, "Kathy, get to the table now. You're wasting time." And so I get to the table, and I finally have no choice but to let my underwear drop and step out of them and get over to the table. And I'm so embarrassed. And so there's no place to sit but kind of near boys. I have to sit at this strange table. And then we're not allowed to leave. I don't really, I've gotten this message. I can't really take care of myself, and I don't want to be a bad girl. So I'm sitting at the lunch table trying to, work my underwear up. And then somebody says, "Hey, I was always wondering what that looked like." And I thought, oh, no, he's talking about me. And that was matched with being a bedwetter, feeling too big, all of this stuff. And then suddenly this big, exciting day about getting to wear the prettiest dress I ever had is just shot. And I really don't know if I ever wore that dress again. I can't really remember, but I know that ever since then, something just kept getting set up that way that somehow my underwear would show over and over. And it wasn't until I started doing this work that I realized that there was these little hidden pieces. And that's why doing the inner child work is so important, because then I could go back in and I could not only download and do commands like I don't know how I'm pretty, I'm dressed beautifully from the skin out. I don't know how my, everything that's under me and hidden is as beautiful as everything that's showing. Wouldn't that be what I'd be generalizing? Isn't that what you want to generalize? That every part of who you are, no matter what you look like, that you know that you're a success, you're beautiful, you're attractive inside and out. That there's nothing that you have to be afraid of. And everyone in your environment, I even did a command for that mean lunch lady. I was like, I don't know how I have adults and lunch ladies who are compassionate and paying attention and waiting to help me. Whew, somebody just got a shift on that. So as these certain messages start coming through, you want to start just giving them space and then notice it, do the command for it, and then let it go. So as you notice any resistance or change or anything else, just be willing to let yourself be uncomfortable. If you're feeling resistant, if you are feeling lethargic with your body, just let your body be. So by the way, I did get that one cleared, and we have not had any underwear incidences since. But, and now I can look back on it and think about, what a wonderful gift to have that day. I mean, I can still remember that feeling of feeling so proud and pretty and beautiful. And then I thought, that's really must be how I really want to be, and maybe that's how I already am. And so this way that you want to be in the world, what if it's just as true that you already are? So accepting that change now and accepting the greatness of who you already are, even though you're not used to telling the story about yourself in a way that really highlights your beauty, your wonder, your grace, your strength, your power. You can learn to change that, and initially it's going to feel strange. Let it feel strange, okay? All right. So some examples of the old way of making change would be maybe you'd get upset, you'd have a fight, you'd feel shamed, you'd feel harmed. But now the new idea of making change would be realizing that manifesting that change may mean some angry feelings, may mean making some changes, may mean asking for information. But you can be taught and you can allow harmony, beauty, and prosperity to come in. Just like today when I was saying, gosh, what's really interesting is I don't feel upset about, the things that aren't working the way I wish they would. I just know I need to work a little harder, and there's going to be some adjustments. For the most part, the interaction that you and I have had, I'm feeling really happy and fulfilled and blessed to be in the space with you guys. And I'm loving the interaction. Okay, brilliant. So we talked about this yesterday, being willing to continue to forgive yourself, forgiving others, forgiving those debts, blessing those who have loaned money to you, blessing your bills. This is so huge. I mean, we get mad about our bills, but I want you to know that when people have allowed you to take out credit lines and even the electric companies, that is a big demonstration of the world's faith and trust in you. Bless those bills. Every time you write a bill, bless it. Every time there's an unexpected expense, do the ratio of the golden means. I don't know how. 3 times this money is returned to me. I only know it's so now, and I am fulfilled. We had some extra expenses we hadn't planned on with this event. We just said, okay, we're going to turn around and bless it. We don't know how many ways, but I know that every time I've ever made the decision to bless the money that went out, it always came back 3-fold or more. And we talked about this yesterday, remembering to forgive yourself as you forgive others. Really allow yourself to be in the space, because that habit and that training of making yourself wrong, blaming yourself, putting yourself down, that one's going to take some time to unwind. And give yourself time and just start catching yourself doing things right. Start praising yourself. At the end of the day, count your blessings. Notice what you're proud of yourself that you've done that day. Maybe you just didn't get angry. Maybe you took action when normally you would have procrastinated. Whatever that is, catch yourself doing it right. Give yourself some praise and be kind to yourself, okay? And just keep... when you find coins or money, bless it. When you find some extra, bless it. Say, oh, I like this. This is good. I like this. Really become conscious and aware of it. We're just kind of winding up here because I know you're getting ready to go. But these are the things, these are the ways that you do the motion. And so you're going to be noticing there's some things that you don't like, there's some things that you do like. And whatever it is which you don't like, let it go. Command for what you want instead. The things that you do like, command that you like these and you'd like to have more of those experiences. And that's going to be how you direct your unconscious mind. And I think we've said this before, that money loves to be blessed. It wants to play with you. It wants to be friends with you. And if you want to, increase cash in your life, make it a point to carry cash with you. In the U.S., we have some $2 bills. We have some what we call odd money that we don't use often, like $1 coins or something like that. I would encourage you to put money in your wallet and keep it there. Like, there's been times in my life when I did not know when I was going to be getting paid, where my next money was coming from. Really desperate situation, but I had $2. And I would tell those $2 okay, you guys kiss and you make love and make a whole lot more little babies together. It's your job to make some money. And I let the money do the work, and I let the money inspire me. Heck, there's a class right there, isn't there? Learning how to talk to your money, letting your money talk back. Who wants your money to be making a whole bunch of other little baby money? But it does. It works. And then I put it in my wallet and say, you guys get busy. And I actually saw that in the movie with Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life, and I just love that imagery of that money making more money. Okay? Get playful with it. As you spend your money, declare, I bless this expenditure bill with gratitude and for the service or thing I receive in exchange. The amount I am sending out is returned to me, pressed down, running over 100-fold now. It is the law. And Asara says that every time. And as you receive money, declare, as I receive this money, it is a declaration to the universe. The 100 times more is on its way, and I am blessed. So right now, I know that you spent money with me for this workshop, and I am so grateful for you. And if we were in a private session one-on-one and you'd hand me your check or your credit card, I'd want to tell you this, that you have not just invested in time with me or for a workshop. What you have done is you have planted a seed for your future good. And just like when a farmer plants a seed, he does not expect to plant one seed and get one seed back. He knows that one seed is going to be bringing him 100 or even 1,000-fold. And what's coming back to him is the fruit. And that fruit has even more seed in it. And more than the fruit or the vegetables that seed would bear, there's all the good that comes from that. There's the money, there's the benefits of the money, there's the freedom, there's the education, there's the housing, there's experiences. And the farmer knows this, and he gladly does the work. And for the blessing that you've given of your time, your energy, your money, your attention, it is commanded that seed that you've planted in your own life flourish and grow. I am your witness of your greatness and your mastery in the world. And any way I can be of support to you, I want to be of support to you. I'm just so grateful to you for all your support. In Bible times, they would say that Jesus told the disciples that take your message, go out to the world. If someone does not receive your message, knock the dust off of your shoes and go on. And if you go someplace and someone invites you in and they want to hear your message, be there, bless them, and then give them everything from your heart. It's been my intention to do that. And I thank you so much. And just continue to use this law of blessing in everything you do. You know, bless the customers that you have, bless your business, bless whatever's coming in, because that blessing is power. It is life that you're speaking into the things that you wish to increase. But through all of this, I want you to know that you yourself are the power. You are the power that's creating the reality right now, and you have the power to reconnect to all that you are, all these parts of you that you are, and with faith, but not necessarily with evidence right now. And by action, you'll manifest what it is that you really want instead of what you have now. I hope that this has been beneficial to you. I know that we've had some unexpected things happen here, and you guys have just hung in with us in such a marvelous way. I've had so much fun working with Sandy. Sandy, you just have just done such a tremendous job before, during, and after all the support, but your beautiful support of all the people. And someone asked me if I could type the money blessing. You know what? I'll send these slides to you, so that way you can look through them and listen to them, okay? So we'll make sure that we put this on the, that's going to be part of the movie, but we'll make sure you have the PowerPoints too, okay? Well, we love you guys, and then I'll have some more messages for you. Louise is saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, we're working on the recordings and getting those up as quickly as possible. You guys rock. I have to tell you, you're my favorite people in the world. Don't tell the others, okay?
Thank you so much, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
It has. So we just want you to know that we witness your mastery, and any way we can just be of help or support to you, please be sure and let us know. Sandy's going to be contacting the members in the next week or so. I need some time to kind of finish up some projects, so it'll be about another week to 2 weeks before we can get started on your one-on-ones. All right, but thank you very much, and we'll be seeing you on the other side. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.